Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to op on Dust 2 CT side. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also comment down in the comments below on what you want to see me do next. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So in Dust 2, CTs can play in every single position with the op. Whether it's middle, whether it's B side, whether it's long, whether it's short. It doesn't matter, every single position is pretty useful when it comes to opping in Dust 2. So let's break it down, starting from long. So when it comes to playing towards long with the op, the best positions are as follows. To play with the op, you can rather hold this angle, which is very common and very useful because you can instantly spot the double door peek with the op, and you usually have the first contact against an AK, which you have a huge advantage of based only on the fact that it's a really huge range. T's are very far away, that's why it's very easy for you to get the first shot off and win the duel, and after that you can rather back off or jiggle peek to check if anyone else is holding the position. When it comes to playing in long, this is the best position to hold it if you want to be close up to know the info. If not, you can also play in car. Car is very useful to play with the op as well, because you have a huge cover and you do need to have utility to defend from any molotovs or anything else if the T's push. And when you have a smoke, you can just simply throw it off the wall. It's a simple smoke and it helps you run around site if you get pushed a lot. There are some gaps in the smoke, however you will not find a perfect smoke to jump through, but you can just simply throw it off the wall and then run. And at the edge you can jump back to CT. Or you can just simply play in car and try to hide off the mollies and nades and play off of your teammate's support if anyone is inside. When you are in car, it's a very common position for T's, however you still have a huge advantage because you're gonna contact them with AKs as in the previous spot, and overall it's a pretty decent position. However, if you do want to play towards long but not hold it so you don't get pushed and play a bit more safe and you don't care about losing long, then you can play with the op towards here. If you play here, you can just hold angles like so by jumping on top of this brick fence, and you can just simply hold the angle, and when you spot someone you can just shoot out one bullet and drop back instantly. However, keep in mind that this position does require for your team to protect short. If your teammates don't protect short, you will get caught off guard since it's a very open position towards short. That's why it's only good to hold long when it's protected. You can hold long from here, you can back off a bit more if you like, you can play behind these barrels because after the contact it's still pretty easy for you to run back towards site. However, when you do run back, keep in mind that you might be visible from pit, so don't stop towards here. Stop more to the left or at least behind this box so you are covered from pit. Another good position is playing a bit closer towards CT. It's an off angle because T's usually expect you to be standing on top of A side. However, it's also a very good position to play it off from here and is the same as the previous positions because it has the same angle. The only difference is that you are in a less expected position. If you want a good position that is also an off angle and is from side, you can jump up this box and just hold the position like so. It's also the same as I showed in this angle or in this angle, however it's also another off angled position. Now let's move on to short. When it comes to short, there's several positions that you can play in order to have the most effective usage of the op. For example, if you play closer like here, it's a very risky position because you can get caught from several positions. That's why unless you have a teammate who is also playing close up to you, it's not really worth it to go for short close. But there are several positions that you can play in towards short. For example, playing behind this side of the box and the wall is a very good position because after contact with T's, you can simply drop down, and then if you have a Molotov, you can simply throw it if you know that a rush is happening. This position is very good not only because you look at short, but you can also quickly drop down to CT and then hold rather long, or you can hold middle. It's a very good position for a quick rotation and also looking towards short for every info that you can get. Another good position which is similar to that position is up this railing. Up this railing you can hold short as well, and you can spot T's even if they crouch. That way you don't have to be worried about them crouching and lurking up to you, and you can just easily hold short. And another benefit, as the previous position, you can hold long as well if you go back towards side. You can go to side quickly, or you can drop down towards CT and also hold middle. If you are a long player and quickly want to check short, you can quickly run up and jump up this box to check this position. However, keep in mind that if you run up this close, you shouldn't expect any T's to be already close towards short, because if they are, they will catch you on timing when you jump, or they can be just camping in this corner waiting for you to peek. That's why whenever you jump up here, make sure that short wasn't pushed already and you can quickly hold the position and set up for it. Now let's talk about playing middle with the AWP. The middle is probably the best position for an AWPer to play in, thus too for CT side, because middle is a very open position and whoever has the control of it or the info of any kind usually has a large advantage for the round. So if you have a B spawn or a middle spawn, you should definitely jump through and try to peek suicide. In my opinion, the best way to peek suicide is before you peek out, you should quickly crouch. That way, T's will spot your head and then try to pre-fire shoot you. However, before you peek out, you quickly crouch to dodge their bullet, and that makes it way easier for you to hit your shots while the T's usually miss it. At the start of the round, you peek suicide. If you see no one, then you quickly jump to look at catwalk because it's a very common position for T's to push catwalk, and you hold it for around 10 to 15 seconds. After that, you quickly run towards a bit closer if you spot no one, and then you can slightly micromanage the lower tunnel angle because some T's from lower tunnel might shift up to you. If you hear them running, then you should quickly manage your angles and hold lower tunnel instantly. Playing like this is very simple. You just have to micromanage and check every single corner from time to time. You should check lower, then you should move your crosshair up and micromanage these angles. While moving slightly, you can also crouch for an easier position, and you quickly clear all the positions and reverse it again. If you get a smoke thrown on you and you have no way to see the position, then you can just throw a simple nade close up to quickly clear the angle after some time, and if you spot no one, you have to call it, or you can just wait up for the smoke to fade. However, keep in mind that you do need to play passive, as T's can push towards the corners of double door like this or this. If you know that T's are pushing or trying to take mid control, then you need to back off a bit, and you can play rather in this position, or if tunnel is being watched, you can also play from window. You can also play behind these boxes, as it's very simple to run across towards side to escape, especially if you have a smoke or a flash that you can use. For example, you can just throw a flash like so, peek out, or even run away, or you can just throw a simple smoke and then escape. When it comes to playing B with the AWP, there's only several positions you can play. However, you can still play the AWP. It's a pretty good weapon for the job. For example, you can hold tunnel from here. You can hold tunnel from this position, which is the most common, but as I mentioned in the previous videos, it's a very risky position. That's why I wouldn't recommend to play here, because you might get mollied off and attacked from T's. That way you need to have a smoke to play off of it. You can play on top of this box if you want an off angle, or if you want to play more aggressive, you can play a bit more close up. Just make sure you have the aim for it, because this position might require you to flick really fast. If you want to play a bit more risky and you're not afraid to lose the side, you can also hold it from here. However, these positions are very easy to retake for T's if they push you. That way, it's very hard for you to gain back the control of sight. You will have to really combat up and use flashes like so to try and peek and get some frags.
That's why I wouldn't recommend to play in any of these two positions. Playing in this corner isn't very good as well because you might get trapped and then you will also need to combat op. Unless that's your thing, I wouldn't recommend doing it because then you have to use utility and you will still get attacked by a lot of people, which will make it really difficult for you to win.
Thank you everyone for watching the video. This was how to op on Dust 2 CT side in CS2. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.